Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Andy. Hi, welcome. Welcome to Sidec e-commerce class live streaming. Thank you for joining us today. Yeah, so we have about 60 people from the stream right now. So if you have joined the previous session, you probably already know me. I'm Chacha here. For those that joining us today, hi, Leon. Hi. So for those that joining us first time, let me introduce myself. I'm Chacha. I'm actually from DMC Digital Marketing Consultancy and partnering with Sidec. I'll be your host for this session. Hi, Ko Hong. Nice seeing you again. Hi, Evelyn. Yes. So do interact with us. Yeah. So saying hi. If you can hear me, all right. Yeah. So can comment in the. We see people say no sound. Yeah. So if those that can hear me all right can tell me that yes, the sound is perfect. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. And welcome again to another session. So today will be the topic on data analysis and online traffic. It's our last topic for module 2 e-commerce process. Yeah. On behalf of Sidec, Selangor Information Technology and Digital Economy Corporation, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all of you who are here with us today. Yeah, so continue to interact with us. Tell us where you are tuning in from. And if you have benefited from the previous session, I would still say again, please help us to share this live right now out on your social media. Invite more of your friends and family so they can also benefit from this session. Yeah, so thank you so much for that. And for your information, for those that joining us, with the team of Elevate Your E-commerce Knowledge, this is actually a free e-commerce live streaming class, and it's brought to you by Selangor State Government together with Sidec. And we have scheduled a total of 15 different topics. For those that actually joined us previously, we have already completed like 9 of the topic session. Yeah, so 9 of the topic session that's covered in terms of e-commerce introduction, marketplaces, website, social commerce, live commerce, cross-border e-commerce, and now we are on module 2 e-commerce process. And we are today on topic EC205. So we have invited a lot of industry experts to share insights and solutions on e-commerce sectors, giving you practical knowledge so you can actually take it back and put it to work the next day. So do check out for more information because our upcoming sessions will have more on digital marketing in next month. Yeah. So if you are interested, do check out on Sidec Facebook page as well as their website to register for the upcoming events. All right then. So for here today, before I introduce about the topic as well as our speakers of the day, I'd like to firstly invite Encik Ikwan again, yeah, from Sidec to give us a few words to introduce about Sidec. All right,
Hi,
Encik
Chacha.
Ikwan.
Hi,
Hi.
everyone. Okay. So I take over from here.
Yes,
All right.
thank you.
Okay. Okay. First, let me share my slide first. So I hope everyone can see my slides. Okay. Firstly, I would like to wish a very warm welcome to everyone who joined us today. So before this, we already passed our 8 classes. So today is our 9 classes. So today is the 10 classes, which is on data analysis and online traffic. So basically, this is the last class for the second module, and we will move to our third module on soon on 2nd September. So as usual, before we move to hear our speakers presentation, you will need to see my handsome face first to hear some introduction about Sidec. So if you are newcomer before, you haven't heard about Sidec before. So before this, Sidec is named Sidec, stand for Selangor IT and E-commerce Council, which means that before this we are council, and in the year 2021, last January, we have rebranded to Sidec, Selangor IT and Digital Economy Corporation. So essentially, we have transformed into the Sdn Bhd. As you can see, all the figure here, all the bubble here is the CITEC achievement since 2015 until 2020. You can see online hundreds and brand 100 program, Selangor SAP program, Selangor e-Bazaar, Selangor Smart City, and Top E-commerce Merchant Award. So all this program has generated to the economic impact of 334.37 million. All of this program have generated to up to until this amount since our opening until year 2020. So, what is Sidec? Sidec is a Selangor state government agency, which we are registered under our parents company, which is Invest Selangor. We are focusing in three sectors, which are e-commerce, startup, and SME. So, in through this e-commerce class only, we have trained more than 9,000 SMEs, and as you can see here, what our mission, which is to nurturing Selangor digital talents and narrowing the digital divide, which means we want to encourage and we want to take all SMEs from the urban area and rural area together. We feel all the same ecosystem for e-commerce. Hi Evelyn. And next is accelerating Selangor startups to become regional tech icons, empowering the digitalization of Selangor businesses and SMEs. And finally, we want to encourage Selangor digital investment and emerging technologies. We move to ecosystem and target audience. So who is our target? Who is our target? Who are our player? Here, as you can see, is the cycle, which are e-commerce, startups, and SME. Basically, e-commerce need startups, startups also need SME, and this cycle is the target audience need each other. As you can see here, e-commerce need SME to gain the product and as a client, and also SME need e-commerce to assist them by selling products and provide services online. Likewise, the startups also act as TSP to e-commerce and to provide services for SME to save costs and increase their efficiency in their marketing. Next, we move to the stages of entrepreneurial cultivation, or in Malay is memupuk keusahawanan. So basically, these are the phases that we see that are facing in order to generate our program. So the first is talent skilling, upskilling, and reskilling. From this program, we will move to adoption and onboarding. And finally, when you have adopted by joining our program, you will learn about how to branding and how to scaling with other state partners. So we move to Selangor Digital and Creative Center. So you can see here, this is only 20% of our HQ. Actually, this is our HQ in ICT. Our main office is located in ICT Shah Alam. So I believe maybe many of you have come to our office before. Before this, due to pandemic COVID that hit, you cannot come to our office. But before this, you can come maybe to rent our co-working spaces or to get some consultation. We are SDCC also a certified Malaysia Digital Hub and Digital Maker Hub. We are certified by MDEC. What is mean by Digital Hub is we are a shared workspace. If you come here, you will feel the environment like a co-working spaces. You can see here, apart from we provided facilities for our team, we also provided many the facilities for any SME or startup that want to utilize our facilities. Such as if you can see, we have provided a seminar room, multiple meeting room, photo studio, and also co-working spaces to be rent by you outside that want to utilize our facilities. And for information also, our co-working spaces is quite the cheapest, which is around 100 ringgit only. This is the cheapest in the Klang Valley. So if you want to know more about our price, you can send the quotation to our email at info@sidec.com.my. We move to our e-commerce program. So what are programs that we have run before? So basically, this is the e-commerce class. The e-commerce class is the currently class that you are entering. This is our yearly class. As you can see here, we already at our 10th class, EC to offer data analysis and online traffic. Basically, EC class is only a basic class, and here you will learn basic about introduction, and you will move to e-commerce process. Finally, next 2 weeks, you will move to the digital marketing. And after you complete this module and you want to learn more about e-commerce, you can register to our e-commerce masterclass, which will be held on next October. So what is the difference between e-commerce masterclass and EC class? EC masterclass is a free class, so you will need to pay not too much. It's around 199 ringgit to 299 ringgit only, and the class it is a commitment fee. So what you will have in the EC masterclass is you will have a deeper having one-to-one coaching with coach, and in this EC masterclass also we will focus more on digital marketing. So basically, this EC masterclass soon, we will have 4 classes in English and 4 classes in Bahasa. So you can choose which module you want to enter. Next, we also run online 100 and brands 100 program. Online 100 and brand 100 program is the program that that we have done for online 100 on only for 100 participants only that wanted to join this program. So basically, those 100 participants only come from Selangor, and we restricted only to 100 participants from Selangor only. So basically, if you join online 100, you will be provided a web store. We will onboard you in the web store, and you can sell your product there. If you join branch 100, we will provide you a 2-year free website. You will get a free domain and web hosting, and you can sell your product in there too. So you know that the cost to maintain or to implement website is quite expensive, right? Around hundreds until 1,000. So if you join this program, the Selangor state government has subsidized all the payments, so you will get the website only for free. Apart from that, we also have Jelajah Usahawan Digital Selangor. This program is we travel. Our team we hire vendors, so we travel to many other regions in Selangor in order to promote the e-commerce ecosystem to people outside rural area or outside urban area that cannot feel the e-commerce ecosystem. As you can see here, last time we have done at Bangi, Kelang, and Ampang. Next is the Malaysia Top E-commerce Merchant Award. Malaysia Top E-commerce Merchant Award is the program that for you, if you are already selling and you have product, so you can register in our program, where this is the biggest e-commerce merchant award, and this is the biggest e-commerce program in Malaysia. So if you register, we will evaluate your website, we will evaluate your sales, and you will compete with many other e-commerce merchant, and finally you will be registered. Yeah, finally, if you win, you will be get exposure in the media. My question from Miss Dayang Nur Izzati, how to join? Later we will inform in our Facebook. You can see Miss Dayang in there. Next, we also have study trip to China, which means we brought all our startup to China. Besides, we also have startup programs. This program is for all startups that wanted to register with us. So we generated many programs for them, so that all the startups can enroll in our program and can grow their business, so that they can find a lot more investors out there. All the this is the Silicon Valley trips for the startups that have won our program, or that after they have pitched last time. So we brought them to Silicon Valley. The Silicon Valley is located in San Francisco, USA. So why we brought them to Silicon Valley? Because Silicon Valley is the hub of the technology and hub of digital marketing. Basically, if you know Elon Musk and many other big company, all of them are based in the Silicon Valley. So they can we brought them in order to learn from many mentor, and maybe to find some investor at there. We also have a lot of SME programs, and for program that in our e-commerce, here is you can see is the Selangor e-Bazaar and the Selangor SME Digitalization Matching Grant. So for Selangor e-Bazaar, we have done since last March, from our phase 1 of the MCO, and up until today we have ended at Selangor e-Bazaar Raya 2021. So around this 1 year, we have generated up until 144.7 million voucher, 144.7 million sales. So what this program is about? The Selangor state government has subsidized, give a 2 million voucher each to Shopee and Lazada, 1 million and 1 million, to be used by the merchant in the Shopee and Lazada, so that but if buyer want to buy anything at the shop, they can utilize the voucher that is subsidized by the state government. You can see here from year 2020, 1 million, and Selangor e-Bazaar level 11, 22 million, up until the Selangor e-Bazaar 2 million, and the total from this program is the 7 million, but we have generated sales up to 20 times from the voucher, which is around 144.7 million. So what I can say is this program is quite successful, and I believe that many Selangor sellers has taken a proactive action. Apart from selling conventional, they have adopt e-commerce to sell online in order to make sure that their business grows smoother. Next, we have the Selangor SME Digitalization Matching Grant. If you haven't heard about this before, this grant is open to Selangor SMEs in order to go digital. And the Selangor state government has subsidized 50% matching grant. So if you want to adopt digitalization of 10,000 ringgit, you will the Selangor state government will pay 5,000 ringgit. So actually is the maximum grant is only limited to 5,000 ringgit only. So if you want to adopt digitalization in e-commerce or HR and payroll system, cloud accounting and tax, or digital marketing and also e-post, you can apply in the grant soon. In addition, I also have one announcement. So tomorrow we will have a talk or a forum on this grant at 3:30 p.m. My team will provide the advertisement soon in the comment and in our WhatsApp group. So you can tune in tomorrow if you want to know more about this grant. So this grant for second batch is already open last 1st August and will be ended on future 31st October. There are still 3.8 million grant available. So apply now or you can tune to our live forum tomorrow. So lastly, this is the Data Internet Selangor. The Data Internet Selangor is the initiative from the Menteri Besar Incorporation from the MBI, but this is a partnership with Sidec. So Data Internet Selangor is the program where the Selangor state government will subsidize 20 ringgit per month for online sellers that which means you will get a 12 month of free internet. So if you pay 20 ringgit per month, you will get 15 gigabyte of internet each month. So if you apply for this Data Internet Selangor, you will get a free SIM card, and also you will receive a 12-month internet data, which means you only need to pay 20 ringgit per month, so you get free data, 15 gig every month. But this is only free the internet. Yeah, for the line and for the messaging you still need to pay. However, the good thing is you will receive 50 ringgit 15 gig per month, the free internet. So you are encouraged to open. I encourage you to apply this Data Internet Selangor at our link that my team has provided in the comment. So basically, there are three choices that you can choose, which are package prepaid live by DG, package prepaid by Celcom, and also package prepaid by Unify. You can choose which plan that you want. So by registering to this plan, you will only need to register only one IC for one number. Only one IC for one number. So if you have any further inquiry, you can send an email directly to at mbiselangor.com.my, and also e-commerce@sidec.com.my. So if you haven't heard about Data Internet Selangor before, you are encouraged to apply for this, because this is only specific to only for Selangor seller only. If your IC have the Selangor number at the middle, you can apply for this Data Internet Selangor. So I believe that's all from me, and I hope that everyone can learn well today. So happy studying.
Okay,
All right.
thank you so much, Ojek Ikwan. And
Yeah.
I am sure that they have some question, like Andy asked how to be on the WhatsApp group. Maybe this one you can address to them
Okay.
first.
Mr. Andy, later in short, I will put the link in the comment. So my team will put the invitation link.
Okay, thank you so much, Ojek Ikwan. And for
Okay.
those that, yeah, thank you. And for those that actually went on to see that page, yeah, when you saw our event on EC Class as well, there's also a link that connect to see that WhatsApp as well, yeah. So if you can also like register, and then if any information, you can also connect with CDEC, and then for upcoming sessions or any sharings, they will also get in touch with you from that. All right. So just wait for our team. So we will put in the comment. Pay attention to that. Thank you so much again, Encik Ikwan,
Okay.
for the
Thank you,
sharing.
Chacha.
Thank you. Okay. And for those, Shelley asked a question, yeah? So how to get the presentation deck, and do you look through to apply the necessary actions, yeah? So our team have pinned a lot of like comments for each of the application, relevant one to like 100 programs as well for the Data Internet Selangor for register as well. Yeah, for any of the sessions that if you are interested, you can click on the link. Yeah, so to check out for more information. If not, you can just follow like Sidec Facebook as well as go to Sidec website. Yeah, so all the informations are up there. And for all of you who are still here with us, 170 plus of you, we just have the WhatsApp group link posted in the comment. Yeah, so you can click on it and get connect with Sidec. All right then, so back to the topic today. So this topic might sound a little bit technical, yeah? So today we're going to talk about data analysis as well as online traffic, but it's definitely a very important component of e-commerce industry because we talk about big data. Yeah, we talk about how to analyze data. Data analytics is a measurement of collection of data sources from the website that can be used as a tool for the business for market research, to improve the marketing as well as like website effectiveness, to understand the audience better as well. And online traffic refers to like users who visited the website, commonly referred to as traffic. Yeah, so traffic, we need traffic in order to convert it to the next action. So how do we optimize the data and traffic to boost up e-commerce business? So this is what we're going to discover on today's topic. And we have invited 3 experts for today. So right now, I will invite all the speakers of the day to be on the screen to say hi to you. All right. Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Yes. Hi. Okay. So one by one, I will introduce. Yeah. First up, we have like Miss Kuing from Exabytes Digital. Yeah. So she will be the first speaker of the day. So later on, we'll first listen to her. And then next up, we have Shahrul from Kreatif Flava. Hi. So Shahrul will be our second speaker. And then next up, we have Mr. Sunny from ClickAsia. Hi, Mr. Sunny. Hi. Yeah, so all stay tuned. Later on, the speakers will come out one by one. Yeah, so I will have all of you be on the backstage first. Yeah, I will re-invite you later again. Thank you so much, all the speakers. All right. So for those who are here, again, we have about 190 already. So if you think this data session is important, yeah, to your friends and family as well. So do help us to share this live out, yeah, to your group, to your social media, and we hope that more people will be joining us later. All right. So just a little bit of housekeeping rule before I invite Miss Queen to be up here. So if you have any questions, any questions during the sessions for our speakers, do feel free to write in the comment. Interact with our speakers as much as possible. We'll pick some relevant one. We will have dedicated Q&A sessions. Yeah, for those that joined us before, you probably already know. So there will be a dedicated session at the end of the all our speakers sharing, and you can have the questions directed to the speakers. I will choose for them to answer. All right. So without further ado, let us re-invite our first speaker of the day, Miss Kuing from Exabytes Digital. Yeah, I'll do a little bit of background introduction of her. So Miss Kuing is an e-commerce account manager at Exabytes Digital and is experienced in most aspects of e-commerce operations. So her track record, including assisting to set up and run over 10 websites across different platforms, including Shopify, Magento, Easy Store, and managing inventory of over 30,000 products. Miss Kuing is also played a very important role in leading the digital transformation of multi-million international company to sell online. Yeah, achieving sales of more than 1,500 orders a day. Before working in e-commerce field, Ms. Kuing also worked in purchasing, who was responsible to analyze and compile data to make informed decision for inventory planning and purchasing activity. So all these sales forecasting, product pricing strategy as well. So all derived from the data. And let's then hear from her experience. How can you do so to improve your e-commerce business? I will now pass the time to you, Ms. Kuing.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah. Okay, so let me share screen now. Hi, so my name is Kuing. I'm from Exabytes Digital, and today I'll be talking about data analysis and online traffic. So just now Chacha has already covered what is data analysis, so I'll just skip. And this is why data matter to your e-commerce business, because you can get more traffic, you can cross-sell, upsell to increase your revenue, you can get user insights, and using this user insight, you can then optimize your sales funnel and ad spend, and you can also use data to manage your inventory and product and also project cash flow. So I'm going to share about how you can leverage on your data at every step of your user journey, from landing page view to add to cart to initiate checkout and to purchase, and what are the things that you do at each step in order to increase sales, troubleshoot, and using data to make informed decision. So first thing first, you break down your sales target. So what happens when you get a sales target that you need to achieve? You break it down into numbers that you can work on. So you take your sales target, you can divide it by your average order value, and you can get target orders that you will need to achieve in order to hit your sales target. You can then take the target orders and calculate how many visitors that you need to bring onto your website in order to achieve your sales target. So there are 3 data points here. So first is sales target, second is average order value, and third is conversion rate. So how do you calculate order value? Is that you take the sum of your orders and then you divide it by number of orders. That will give you your average order value. And conversion rate, you calculate by dividing the number of visitors to your website and divide it by the number of orders. That will give you your conversion rate. So you use your target orders divided by conversion rate to calculate the target number of visitors that you need to bring onto your website. So there's a simple calculation down here. Example, if your sales target is 5,000 ringgit and your average order is 50 ringgit. So how do you calculate the target orders that you need in order to achieve sales target of 5,000? Is you take your 5,000 divide by 50 and your target orders is 100. You then calculate conversion rate. That means that take purchase and divide by visitors to get conversion rate, and then you can calculate target visitors that you need to bring onto your website. So in conclusion, to hit a 5,000 sales target, you will need to bring 2,500 visitors to your website, assuming that your conversion rate is 4% and your average order value is 50 ringgit. So just to share some information, conversion rate would be around 2 to 4% for most e-commerce platform. Of course, that depends on your industry and your product as well. So what are the key data points that you need to look at to drive traffic to your website? You need to look at demographics, interests, location, channels where your visitors come from, and also the terms, keywords that people search to find your business. So you can look at Google Analytics to find more information about your audience demographics, such as age, gender, interests, and location. You can also get data from your e-commerce store, such as shipping address and billing address, to know where's the location of your customers. And using age data, gender, and location data, you will be able to set more accurate targeting on Facebook and also reduce your advertising spend to reach out to the correct target audience. Next is we can also look at what channels that your customers enter your website. So what I'm looking here is a screenshot from Google Analytics. So we can see here the channel that contributes to the most traffic is actually from organic search. So what it means here is that you have identified your top channel, and what you do next is that what are the efforts that you can put in order to grow this channel or optimize this channel. So some of the things that you can do is look at meta tags on your website, and also increase SEO effort on your website so that people can find you, and also it will optimize your organic search. So that brings us to the next tool, which is Google Keyword Planner, and also discover new keywords. So Google Keywords Planner is a free tool where you can use to search volume of certain terms, and also some forecasts. And also you can use a discover new keywords tool to discover similar keywords to your product. So for example, we can see that diapers and stroller have a 3,600 monthly search. So and this means that you can incorporate these search terms into your website and your product, and also even your product unique selling point and description. Next, after using Google Keyword Planner, one of the tools that I use frequently is also looking at business insights in Shopee Seller Center. So in Selling Coach in Shopee Seller Center, they will also have more data such as keywords, trending products, and best-selling products. So this is some resources that everyone can use in order to identify the search term and incorporate that data into your product and your business to get more traffic. Next, let me share some of the action plan that you can use when you have key data points such as demographics, interest, location, channel, and search. So just now I have mentioned that we can actually target the right audience, and also if you have interest data, you can also do detailed targeting. So there's a question from Bunaku. So what is the rate for e-commerce conversion considered good? So the average conversion would be 2 to 4%. Anything above like 5 or 6% is considered very, very good. And then if you can hit, let's say, 10% conversion rate, you are basically like in the top 10 companies in the world already. Fong Wai Kuen say good afternoon. So hi, good afternoon. So if you have identified your channel and also the age group of your customers, then you can proceed to create more relevant content to drive traffic. So if I'm selling snack food and my target audience is below 30, and I notice that when I do advertisement on Instagram and Facebook, with let's say 70-30% ratio, with 70% of my impressions are from Facebook and 30% of my impression is on Instagram, but I notice on my website I'm actually getting equal number of orders from Instagram and Facebook. So it means that it's more efficient to advertise on Instagram. So knowing what I know about my sales channel and knowing what I know about my target audience, I can then tweak my content for advertising to Instagram story, and then using memes so that I can leverage on the data that I know. So in order to increase sales and traffic. So just now I mentioned a little bit about keywords and trends. So you can also incorporate such terms into your product title, your meta tags, your SEO, your product description, and so on. So the example that I gave here is on Shopee, where you actually put more keywords into your product title. But anyway, it works a little bit differently for your website, Lazada and Shopee. So on Shopee and Lazada, you may want to put more keywords into your product title, but on your website, you may want to put a cleaner title, but then put your keywords into meta description and meta tags. There's a question on what is the ideal budget to start off for food products. It kind of depends on your target, your sales target, right? So earlier I have actually started I showed how do you reverse calculate your sales target. So it depends on how much sales that you want to achieve, but ideally you would want to have enough budget, so you would be able to get enough data for A/B testing. It's quite difficult to give a definite answer to this question without some context. So maybe at the end of this session, you can reach out to my email and then we can discuss this further. So let me tell you and share how you can leverage on your data at every step, right? So we have now covered the traffic and landing page views. So when people come to your website, what is next? We need to bring them to the next step of the user journey, which is add to cart. So there are a few things that you can focus here to increase conversion rate from landing page view to add to cart. There's a question from Lai Carway. So meta text means right into the picture properties. There's a little bit of difference there. So the picture properties, that one is alternate text. So meta description is a different field where you enter some keywords, and then usually there is a text limit. So it's actually different things. Alternate text and meta text and meta description. So these are different things. Okay, next. So when people come to your website and are not adding to cart, so these are the three things that you can focus on. So you can focus on product listing and value proposition. So what I mean here is, is your product listing good enough to give customer the information that they need to make a decision to buy from you? And is the value proposition of your product clear? Like, do you communicate the benefits properly? What makes your product different from your competitors, and so on. So you must make sure that this part is done well, so that people have enough data to make a purchasing decision from you. Next, you can continue to optimize targeting. So we discussed about understanding your audience previously. So you would need to continue to optimize your targeting to make sure that you are targeting the right audience to look at your products. And the next thing is kind of minor, but then it could be the reason why people are not adding to cart. There could be some technical issues. So let me go to each of these 3 points in more details. So how do you evaluate your product listing, whether is it good or it needs to be improved? So there are 5 things to consider. So the first thing is your product picture. Is it clear? Can you tell what product is it by the first look at it within the first second? Secondly is your product description. Does it share more info about the product so that the user can imagine like when they will use it? Thirdly is using keywords and focus points in your product description, title, and also infographic, additional product images. And then you can also make the unique selling point or value proposition of your product into images that accompany your cover picture, so that at a one look, people can see what is special about your product instead of having to read bulky text in the product description. Fifth is you should complete your product attributes and information. For example, if you are selling food product, you need to have expiry date, whether it's halal or not, and whether it contains any allergens. So there's a question from Proparma about if there a formula for advertising budget applicable for any products. My session here today would be more on data analysis and traffic. So I believe the next module in the Sidec e-commerce class would cover advertising budget. So let me move on to my next slide. So I have two images here, images A and images B, and they're selling the same product. So you can leave your comment in whether A or B would be a better product picture. You can leave comments, which one would sell better, either A or is it B that will sell better. So these are the same products that we see on Shopee. So if one say B is a product that will actually sell better, yeah. I have one A, I have most of the answers are actually B. Okay, so let me move on to my next slide. So we can see that on A, it actually sold 1.1K and actually B sold 44K. Yeah, so what I want to tell you here is that that you have to base on that there is no sure formula on what is a better product picture and so on. But then for me, what is most important is that you must be able to tell what products that you are selling. And then how do you evaluate which one is a better product? How do you evaluate whether your product listing is good or not? One of the tricks that I use is, let's say if I'm selling nuts, I go to Shopee and I look for the top 10 best sellers in the nuts category. And then I will go through each product and then I will evaluate the product based on the 5 key points that I shared earlier, which is product picture, description, keywords, infographic, and attributes. So what is the common point that these products have that your product don't have? So for example, you can see that this is how 2 or 3 sellers in the top 10 category used to write their product. So first they say that you can eat this anywhere, anytime, you can this is for break and so on. And then they talk a little bit more about, let's say, the type of nuts that they have and then where it is produced. So if you can, for product description, if you can segment out what kind of sentences that they are using with what kind of content, and then you compare it to your own product, then that is how you know whether you need to improve on your product listing. Yeah. So I see that there are some comments in the group chat that A sold more than B, B sold more than A, and so on. Is that most of the time you cannot tell. So the best way is also to go back to data. So in this case is that you compare the top performing listing with the 5 points that I mentioned, and then look if you can find any similarities between these products. And if there is one point that is commonly shared across this listing, that means that it's something that works and it is proven that it works for other people. So that would be something that you want to add to your product listing. So it's really hard to tell, like, because we are subjective, right? So by looking at the top 10 product listing, that is when you be objective, whatever the customer prefer to see, that is the way that we should go. So where do there's a question on Penguin. So can I know where there's top keywords in Shopee Business Insight? So you go to Home, you go to Business Insights, and you go to Selling Coach. So there is more than keywords here. You can see top selling products, you can see keywords, you can see trending products, and so on. So this is quite a useful tool that I use. I feel that Shopee probably provides more relevant data compared to Google, because if you are interested in something and if your product, again, it depends on your product. So if your product is kind of like a household item like tissue or what, I think if I want to look for tissue, I will not go to Google and search best tissue in Malaysia. I will just go to Shopee and look for tissue. So use both resources with knowing this in mind. Yeah. So I see that there's a question that if we use similar language and photo, how do we differentiate ourselves from our competitors? So what we learn from our competitors is to know what they do well, and is it visual, is it product description, and so on. But we have also must understand our unique selling point. Do ourselves understand why people should buy from us versus from them, and then you must also highlight this information in your product listing. So we learn from what works for other people, and then we modify it for our own use as well. So maybe if you look at more product listing, you would understand maybe how better, like, is it there's a certain way of writing to communicate your own USP better. So it really depends on your product, and you must be able to answer this question yourself. So next, this is something that I find it quite useful. So if you have a Shopee shop, you should use their templates that they have in shop decor. So you access this page from home, shop decoration, and mobile shop homepage, and you choose a few templates. So this will instantly make your Shopee homepage looks more attractive. And then because when you buy on Shopee, people always would go to your shop to look for what are the other products that they can buy, because they're already paying shipping fee if they buy from you. So this would be a good way to show more of your other best-selling product or communicate what is special about your product. Next, like just now I mentioned, if what is stopping people from adding to cart once they arrive at your website. So this do not apply to most of the time, but that is something that I want to mention, because you don't want people not adding to cart once they arrive on your website because of technical issues. So this is something that you should check. Does your website take 10 seconds to load? Is that why people cannot wait and they leave your website? So you can check what is your page loading speed on Google Analytics, and then you can also check out what is the loading speed of your competitors, and just make sure that this is not the reason why people are not adding to cart when they reach your website. So now we have reached so after adding to cart, so what is the next step? The next step is we must make sure that the people add to cart actually initiate checkout. So we are looking more on incentives here, and also we are looking more on incentive here for people to check out, and also look at technical issues again, why people don't check out. So let me show you a data sample. Can anyone detect what is wrong with this data sample? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So this data is actually pretty abnormal, that you have 206 checkout initiated and only 2 purchases, because this is a conversion rate that I expect to see landing page view to purchase, but not from trying to pay to purchase. So that means that I will need to investigate why does the data look so abnormal. So there are a few ways that you can use to investigate further when you see data like this. So first of all, you can install Hotjar. So I will share a little bit more on this business insight tool. Second, you can offer free shipping or evaluate your shipping setup. Third is you would want to send abandoned cart email and do some retargeting. Again, this depends on your product. And fourth, you would want to double check that the technical issue. There are no technical issues on your payment gateway and on your shipping method. So what is Hotjar? So Hotjar is a business insight tool that can show you recordings of users on your website. So when you use Google Analytics, you can see where people enter and what is the conversion of the user journey from landing page view to add to cart. What is so there's a question from Luna. What is the ideal percentage between add to cart and close deal? So I would expect about, let's say, 25% to 50% drop off, no more than that. So anything lesser than that is abnormal. So what I'm looking at is actually converting 2 to 4% of visitors that come to my website to purchase. So this covers a few steps of the user journey. So when you see data where add to cart to purchase is like 1%, that means something is very wrong. So yeah. So let me go back to Hotjar. So Hotjar will show you recordings of users that are on your website. So you should use this complementary to Google Analytics, because Google Analytics will show you how many people from add to cart go to initiate checkout, how many people from initiate checkout to purchasing, but they don't show you what the user actually do if they leave. So this is where Hotjar come in. So if you see this red line here, it shows that that is how the user's mouse click on the website before they arrive on basic. And then Hotjar also offers additional analytic tools like heat map. So it shows you where the user click on when they land on your website. So this part is also useful when you want to do A/B testing of content and content placement and banner content. So there's a few questions here. So besides offering free delivery and discounts that are quite common, is there any way to attract visitors in conversion? So I would maybe you can share a little bit whether you mean is it from landing page view to purchase, or you mean from initiate checkout to purchase? Yes, free delivery and discounts are quite common, but again, you would probably come back to your product again, like what is the unique selling point about your products? Does it meet the demand of the customers? Does it meet needs and demands of the customers out there? So that is where you look back to Google Keyword Planner, trending keywords on Shopee. So you look back to your value proposition and you make sure that those are communicated clearly to your users. Free delivery and discounts are quite common, and they still for me work most of the time. So that would be something that I will be sharing a little bit more in my next few slides. There's a question from Andy. So does it mean that we will integrate Hotjar with our online store to track this? Yes, it means that you integrate Hotjar to your online store. So there's a question from Color about the data analytics. Must it be Facebook page? So what about non-Facebook page? Can it analyze as well? So it depends. Yeah. So if you want to do analytics, you must always have like e-commerce platform, right? Whether it's Shopify, Magento, or WooCommerce or Easy Store. So you must then do additional step of integrating tracking tool to your website. There is a selection out there, but just choose one so that they don't clash with each other. If you are selling on Shopee and Lazada, they have very good tools to show analytics that is in business analytics in Shopee. Hotjar, I believe there is a free package where it offers up to 100 recordings. You can check the link www.hotjar for further information. And if I'm not wrong, once you use your free 100 recordings, you need to delete them so you will be able to record new recordings. Next, let me give you a scenario. So you are trying to check out and your item value is only 11 ringgit. And when you reach your checkout place and you key in your address, and the shipping fee comes up, and it is 7 ringgit and 55 cents, and now you have to pay 18 ringgit and 55 cents. Type 1 in the chat if you will continue with your purchase, and type 2 if you will just look for another seller, or not proceed with this checkout. So what would you guys do? Okay, so let me share a case study. So there is this item where it is 1 ringgit per pack, and then shipping fee is 6 ringgit. And then on the right side, this item is now packaged into 8 packs with free shipping. So everyone mostly say that they will not proceed with the purchase. So this is where I will advise that you build free shipping into your product price. So in this case, what I did was I changed my client's entire website to free shipping store-wide. So how we did this was we calculated how many package per so we made every product into a bundle, and we offer free shipping store-wide. And we calculated how many packs of product that we have to sell in order to give free shipping for the entire group. So this is the difference. So you buy 1 ringgit, but then let's say if you buy 6 packs of keropok at 6 ringgit, and then you go to check out and your shipping fee is 6 ringgit. So most of the time people will walk off. So we offered free shipping, and then 14 ringgit 40 cents for 8 packs of keropok with 4 different flavors and free shipping. So it's almost the same price. But this is the results. The sales increased by 77% on the website compared to before. So the blue bar shows sales made on the e-commerce website. So when you can see in the beginning, January, February, March, April, most of the sales actually still come from Shopee, which is in orange. So once we started to do differentiation on our website and Shopee, on Shopee we are still selling single packs, but then on our website we are doing free shipping, and we make other enhancement, like instead of showing packaging photo, we show food photo as well. So, and we offer free shipping store-wide. So you can see that free shipping is actually key to increase sales on your website. So yes, Google, Excel and Google is also your best friend for data analysis, but that is more manual method. So if you use certain platforms such as Shopify or Easy Store, there will be a reports section where things can be combined into charts and pie charts, where you can toggle the dates instead of manually manipulating your data. So we are talking about how when people initiate checkout but they drop off before they hit purchase. So what are the things you do? So you send abandoned cart email. Potentially you offer a limited time voucher so that people will check out. Then you also do email retargeting. So retargeting can be done in a lot of contexts, but the one that I want to share here is it depends on your product. So if your product is expensive, like a hair iron that is 200 ringgit, or if your product is, let's say, a big purchase, vacuum, fridge, and so on, the decision making period for your product is actually longer. It could be 2 or 3 weeks, because people take longer to make a decision before they want to purchase your item. So it may be a good idea to retarget the people that add to cart to your website, and with different content of value proposition to remind them and keep the lead warm, that remember to complete your purchase. Yeah, so we should also always check for technical errors. So technical errors or setting errors from initiate checkout to purchase, there are a few aspects that you can always find error. Like example, you activate e-wallet without activating e-wallet with your payment gateway provider. Your payment gateway is down, set up incorrectly. Your postcode is out of shipping zone. Your shipping fee is too expensive. So if you see that suddenly there's no orders, it's always a good idea to do a test order on your website to make sure that the payment gateway is functioning properly. You have to check your e-wallet, you have to check your online banking, and you have to check your credit card. If when you see that suddenly no one is checking out, when the historical data will show that there would be purchases, but it just goes off, then you would need to check whether your website has any technical area. I see a message from Luna saying that does email marketing work fine in Malaysia? Do people nowadays check email? So there's a formula to send out email marketings. So one of the things that you do is to always go with data, do A/B testing of different content. Emojis is always a good idea to include in the subject of your emails, and again, most importantly, you go back to data when you send out marketing emails, whether through MailChimp, Clavigo, and so on. You can always track the read rate and how many people purchase. So you have to test different content, and also you have to test how frequent you send out an email, because every time you blast out an email, they would be unsubscribers. So that's not a problem, because you're always gaining new subscribers, so that you send out different frequencies to find the sweet spot where you can see a lot of conversion, a lot of opening without losing more unsubscribers compared to your new subscribers. For me, I actually prefer to use, for my certain clients, I prefer to use SMS Plus to remind them to do purchase. So I find that SMS people might open more than email. So that is what I'm using now. Yeah, so one Yue Lo said that people always prefer to check back later. So it is sometimes a good idea to do retargeting and remarketing to the people that add to cart and keep the lead warm. Yeah. So there's a question from Ling Min Hao that wouldn't email will classify this type of emails as spam using some score metrics, and how do you overcome that? So you need to keep on top of what are the guidelines for sending out email with like Google Gmail. They will actually give you like what are the guidelines that will be considered as spam emails, and make sure you avoid them, and then they get updates on that, so you need to stay on top of that. And then it's always a good idea to send emails from trusted email providers such as MailChimp, Clavigo, and so on. So of course there are other service providers that may provide you email marketing service at a lower price, but it depends on how clean is their address that they used to send out. Is their address is already highlighted as potential spam? So it depends on your content, and also the email provider that you use. How much is the SMS or WhatsApp retargeting services? I'm sorry, I can't give like a lot of answer on that, but you can always like Google for SMS or WhatsApp retargeting services. I know that there are apps that actually integrate to your online store, like Shopify and so on, that your customer can get a WhatsApp update when you place an order. So when I received that WhatsApp update when I placed an order, I was very happy myself, and it makes you feel that your customer will feel that this is such a thoughtful move, and then you will be able to leverage on this further on when you send more promotion email, because they feel that it was very thoughtful of you and you build a connection with them. WhatsApp, everyone have to be very careful, because people can potentially report you for spam on WhatsApp. So and a few more reports, your WhatsApp number would be blocked. So it is a good idea if you use those your first contact point is like, oh, we have received your order, we will pack and we'll send it to you soon, and then the next WhatsApp that you receive is like, oh, your order is on the way. So you build a rapport with your customer before you send them marketing emails that would help. So there's a question from Sangwan Chu. What is the frequency or ideal frequency to send out email marketing? So it depends, yeah. So as I said, you must find a sweet spot to send out emails where your unsubscriber is less than your new subscribers. So you need to test because you will lose subscribers when you send out email marketing, and you will also gain new subscribers. You must find a sweet spot, and you also must monitor your conversion rate from your email, and you must always A/B test the content, use emojis in your product title. So after your customer have successfully moved from initiate checkout to purchase, they have finally bought. So what do we do next? So this is the beginning of more data that you can actually analyze and also leverage on. So the key data points after purchase is completed is that you can get more customer data and contact lists. You can look at order frequency. You can look at best-selling products and categories. You can look at order value, and also you can look at inventory management. So here's how. Let me give you a data sample. So imagine you have a repeat customer rate of, say, 10%. So when you want to increase your sales revenue, looking for new customers is not always the only method. You should also retain your current customers, because acquiring new customers is always expensive in terms of ad spend. So you will also want to focus on repeat customers. So when you imagine if you can increase your repeat customer by 10%, you can increase your revenue by 500 ringgit, assuming that average order value is 50. So there are methods where you actually can increase your customer rate. So it depends on, segment your customers into groups, sending personalized tailored message, different content, do A/B testing in order to convert your existing customer to place more orders with you. So for example, if I am a customer that bought a UT t-shirt, and then you segment customers that bought UT t-shirt into a customer group, and when you launch a new collection of UT t-shirt, you will be able to send message to these customers and say that, hey, there's a new product launch. Or if, let's say, for example, if I bought a pair of shoes, and then now I have now I also sell accessories, like, let's say, shoelaces, socks, and so on. So you can segment your customer again and show them relevant products. So the data points that you are looking here is customer contact data and what is their purchase history. So you do segmentation and you create different content from here and you reach out to them. So again, it's very important to do A/B testing on frequency and the type of content. Next is you can also use data, which is like customer contact data and also best-selling items data to optimize your website and help with email marketing. So you can populate on your website, you can show your best-selling items as a category, you can show a product slider of your best-selling items, you can do an email marketing campaign on best-selling items. Next is how do you use data to upsell and also increase order value. So the data points that you want to look here is average order value. You want to look at best-selling items and you want to look at what are the items that are frequently bought together. So consider the Erwin's example. So if I know that my average order value is 25 ringgit, and I want to increase my order value. So I can do, let's say, promotion. So I want to increase my order value from 25 to 30. I will offer, example, free sample pack with 30 ringgit spent. So that will help me to increase my order value. So if I have data on my best-selling items, I can also bundle these items that are frequently bought together. I can also use my best-selling item to make into a bundle with something that I want to promote and push, and make this into bundles and I can potentially increase my order value from, let's say, 25 ringgit to, let's say, 36 ringgit and 43 ringgit. So I must create relevant bundles. So that is the same thing where you use data, when you set vouchers on Shopee. Because giving discounts actually come out from your profit, right? You want to give discount to increase sales and not to cut away your profit on a number that doesn't matter. So you look at your average order value again, and then you would want to set probably two types of voucher. First voucher is generic discount with no minimum purchase, like 1 ringgit 50 cents off. But then if your order value is 25 ringgit and you want to increase it to 30 ringgit, so you can offer discount for, if you buy 30 ringgit, then you will get this discount. So it works. And then you can also use these data points to do purchase with purchase promotions. Lastly, you can also use data. So this is a little bit different from sales data. You can also use data such as quantity sold over X period of time, and also stock on hand to inform you whether you need to restock. And then for example, this is from Lazada. They actually have like a dashboard where they show you what is your stock on hand and how long is the projection before it gets out of stock. So that is something that you can also count yourself on Excel. So you know that this item last sold 20 pieces in the last 30 days, and my stock on hand is 5 pieces, and it takes me 2 weeks or 1 week before my supplier can restock for me. So you use this on hand data and your projected sales data to calculate whether at which point you want to do restock. Okay, so I have covered how do you use data to solve your problem at every step of your user journey. It's always important to look at conversion from one step of the user journey to another, from landing page view to add to cart, from add to cart to initiate checkout, from initiate checkout to purchase. But we are looking at 2 to 4% conversion rate from landing page view to purchase. So if you feel that people are dropping off at any one stage of your user journey, so these the steps that I shared earlier help you to troubleshoot and solve your problem. So when you feel that you don't have to be in a position where you feel that I want to increase sales, I don't know what to do. So you just use your data, you break it down and into numbers, and you see where is it that you can optimize for. So this data is not just only to increase sales. Let's say your sales drop, and then you need to know what to do, what to improve, and so on. You should also look into data. So is it order value that drop? What are the items that people are not buying? And what is the traffic? Let's say my sales drop, and then I want to drill down to which product people are not buying compared to last month. And why is it so? Is it because less visitors? Is it because content placement? And so on. So if you can drill down to more specific product, you can drill down to specific user journey, then you will be able to explain why your sales drop. And knowing what goes wrong helps you to improve, right? And if your sales increase, knowing exactly why, where your sales increase will also help you to make informed data-driven decisions to increase sales. So again, I will probably like to summarize my presentation by going back to the basics. In order to have data to analyze, you must always have, for example, like Easy Store, they actually pull data from Shopee, Lazada, and online store and present to you in a pie chart format. So if you want to start with data analysis, you must always make sure that your tracking is done on your website. And if you're selling on Shopee, Lazada, that you actually utilize your business insights. So you must have something to start data analysis on. Opening a web store is just the first step. So you must always have integrations and so on to be able to get enough data to start your data analysis. So yeah, so my name is Kuing. Thank you for listening to my session of data analysis and traffic. So we will have a Q&A session later on. So if you have any questions that you want me to answer, you can ask later. Or if there's any short questions you want me to answer now, you can type in the group chat. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Miss. A very wonderful sharing. And there are a lot of questions for you that you already addressed for them, but definitely join us later. Yeah, stay until the end of the session because Miss Nguyen will join the rest of the speakers to take on some more questions as well. All right. Thank you again, Miss Nguyen. So I'll put you at the backstage so you take some rest first. Later, I'll re-invite you back to the screen.
Thanks, Chacha.
No problem. See you later. Thank you. And okay, so all of us right now, we have our second speaker, Shahrul, on the screen. Hi, Shahrul. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. I'll
Good.
a background introduction of you, to the audience first. Then I'll pass the session to you. So Shahrul here, he has gained experience in IT systems and development at various MNC, spending over 17 years of experience. So right now he's founding of the Kreatif Flava. Yeah, so it's a creative tech brand. So co-founding also another company, Simplify Technologies, that focus on web design, development, mobile app, graphic designs, photography, videography, animation as well. So Shahrul has a lot of experience. He also was leading Asia region for French oil and gas giant. He also worked at T-System before, supporting SAP infrastructures for Shell globally. And he has also worked in ExxonMobil, supporting a lot of development in SAP application systems for the Canadian business. And right now, using his experience, he will share about data analysis and online traffic. I'll right now pass the time over to you. Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Chacha. Is my voice okay? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Great. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen right now. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Shahrul Subki. You can call my long name is Shahrul Muhammad Subki, and my short name is Shahrul Subki. So today we're gonna talk about data analysis and online traffic. So let's do this. Okay, numbers don't lie. I mean, like if you see numbers, it will not lie. It will be it will be a number. So it never lie to people, to everybody, to the customer, or to yourself. Okay. Sorry about that, my daughter.
What time is my class?
Now go down. Okay, about Kreatif Tech and Kreatif Flava and Simplified Technology. So what we are actually integrated hybrid digital agency. We provide strategic client-tailored solution, digital and traditional, and we passionate about good technology and design. So as Checha said, I'm into the mobile technology, website development, doing consulting for digital marketing for the e-commerce company, and then I do other digital agency like photography, videography, and animation as well. And I myself also teach. I'm teaching data analytics in one of the institution. Mainly, I teach Google SEO, data analytics using Excel, using R programming, Python programming, database. So that's about me. So I love data. One thing. That's why I love all this kind of thing, data and also digital, whereby until the photography as well. Okay, so let's talk about exploratory data analysis. First, you need to discover the pattern, to spot the anomalies, and to test the hypothesis. Meaning that I give you an example. Let's say sales of umbrella in 1 year in one e-commerce company, and then you want to know, you put a hypothesis, is it at the end in every year, is it the sale go up during the raining season or something like that? So you grab a data from government or something like that, the weather data, and you cross tally with your e-commerce sales. So you want to predict. So every time when it comes to a certain month, you know where to hit your sales. Okay. Here, on the statistical analysis, first is a sign of collecting, and then one is sign of exploring. So, and then the third one is a sign of presenting a large amount of data to discover underlying pattern and trends. So, without data, normally people in the social media, sometimes they are just assume, they just say based on their assumption. But then when you really have the data, you really have a good fact. So that's why I say that the numbers never lie. So can the audience here say that you do your sale, are you based on your data or not? If you say that you based on data, can you say can you put one in your chat message? And then you say you don't, then you put 2. Can you put in the chat message right now? So I just want to see what's you guys thinking about. All right, why you guys do that? Okay, while you guys do that, I'm gonna move on. Okay. So when you do the data, when you have a data, and then you do the cleanup, and then you do the data wrangling, you massage data, and then the last part, what you do yet, you need to have a data visualization. You need to have a proper visualize of your data, which is the data visualization is the graphical representation of information in data. The second is the using the visual element like chart, graph, and maps. And then the third one is a provide accessible way to see and understand trend, outliers, and pattern in the data. So right now I'm gonna do a demo of the data. I'm just gonna demo using Excel. Okay. So right now you see the Excel. This is information that I got it from online, from Kaggle website. Kaggle practically is a public data that you can take it out and then use it, the data. This is the property data for in New York, sale of the property data. So right now I have this. So what I can do with the data, what can I do, analyze with the data using Excel. So from here, this normal data, so what I did, I make it this data to be in the pivot table. This is pivot table. So how do I come up with this? So what I do is, so from here, I put shift control down. So I grab it to down, and then you can put shift control to the most right. You will grab that. So what you do is over here in your insert, you hit the pivot table, you grab this. So when you hit that, it will create a pivot table, and then at your most right, you have this pivot table field, and this field you can put a certain information. For example, I'm going to put, let's say, building categories, and then from there I put probably building lot, for example. Sorry, I want grab address, and then from there, let's see, I want to see the sale price and then sale date. So from here, what I do, because in this pivot table you can play with drag and drop. So from here, I can take this sale price and brought it over there to the value. And then in the sale date, I can put it there. So from the sale price here, I can just change from the count, change the value setting. I go for the sum. I got that. So from here, you see, if I close the nested loop here, I can see the price of that particular for the label of family dwelling, to family dwelling, entry, and so on. So I can do this kind of thing. From here, for example, you see that I have one family dwelling, and then this is some commercial unit, and then some total unit. Here I do another one based on the area, which is the airport LaGuardia, is the neighborhood, and then these are all the building class category. I put it over here, and then the value here, I put the sales price, and then the sum of the land square feet. So from here, if I this is the summation of all the neighborhood. So inside the neighborhood, they have another sub information under the airport LaGuardia. So if you look at from the main here, you will not see anything. But if you do some analysis from here, you can get more deeper understanding about your data. Okay, so this is one way. And then another way is that from this data, I can even make it visualize to the graphics, to a chart. For example, here I base on all these type of family dwelling, and then all this type of information, which is I got it from here. I grab this, and then I want to generate a graph on this. But here I have two type of information. One is a sum of sales price. One is sum of the land square feet, which is I do a two axis, so I can see the relationship within the two attribute there. Okay, so from here, let's move on back to our demo. So from here, do you have any other question on the data on the Excel? Do you use Excel in your analysis of your e-commerce business? Can you say, yes, I use, one you use, and then two you don't use? So I want to see it. Because having said that, when you use the Excel, you get a clear picture. But the thing is, in order to use that, you need to take action back on that. Because the analysis, if you do, but if you don't take action, there will be no point of having that. Wow, Luna Delta use VBA some more, which is very good. Okay, and then another thing is about Excel. I do that as my information gathering, where I need to do the cleanup. Sometimes when I have a data, for example, if you give a survey or from the email or something like that, sometimes when you put an attribute of state, for example, Johor Bahru, but in Johor Bahru, sometimes some people name it as Johor Bahru, JB, and some other word. So you need to make it standardized. So you need to do cleanup, cleansing, so that you get a good analysis on that. Okay. All right. Let's move on. We go to the next slide. Compounded implication. From that data, if you have an incorrect metric, misleading information, incorrect, so it will lead to the incorrect business decision, right? So so that's why data is important, so that you will not have an improper or meaning that incorrect decision for you to do your campaign or something like that. Okay. Right. Move on to understanding the algorithm. So here, the data we use for sale, we do for the impression, we take it from traffic, and then from that we go for the conversion. That's what we need, that data. Okay. All right. Now we move on to tools. So here, other than tools in the market, what tool you guys use? Can you tell me in the comment, so I will know that what type of tools? Just now we heard from Hotjar, and then Google Analytics, right? So other than that, do you use any other tools? Can you type it? Okay, while you guys do that, let me show you what's here. Okay, one of the tool that we have in the market, Mixpanel, or the Lima Merah put SAS. Good. Okay, Mixpanel, we get available customer insight to make smarter decision and act faster based on how customer use your product and website with Mixpanel. Oh, Xiong use a data studio. That's good. So basically, you use data studio you grab from the Google Analytics, right? Okay. So other than Mixpanel, we have like HIP Analytics. HIP is the only digital platform that show everything user do in 10 minutes. That will take half an hour in Google Analytics. But of course, you need to pay some of the service, yeah. But this is what available in the market. And then another one is this is my main thing that I always use, Google Analytics. Google Analytics lets you measure your ROI and keep track Flash, video, social networking site and application. And in Google Analytics, how you implement it, you need to take that Google Analytics ID, and then you put inside your website. In website, they have either a normal website, non-e-commerce also you can put, so that you can track. But then, of course, the most importantly is for your e-commerce, because you want to track in each page that actually people view, and then the product that people view. And then another one, you have a Google Tag Manager. if you have a Google Tag Manager, you install the Google Analytics, the Google Tag Manager, and also you can install Facebook Pixel, which is a tracking tool for Facebook, and you can put in the Google Tag Manager as well. All right. Okay, let's move on. Okay, another tool that I have here is a Snowplow. Snowplow gives team completely flexibility and control over how behavior data is collected, structured, processed, modeled, and stored. Okay, then move on. We have Segment here. Segment is customer data platform that help you collect, clean, and control your customer data. And then, okay, here, this is cool thing about it. This is Detail. Detail is a Malaysian company. They are doing the data analysis for the consumer. So here we have a Voyager customer intelligence key feature and functionality. So I'm gonna show this. So it's empowering SME media spend. So here you have a personal analytic, behavior, and identity. Here we have diagnostic and prescription on the advocacy index for the product and brands. So if you look at here, you have a product, brand, and then the age group, gender, okay? And then over here we have diagnostic and prescriptive on the product and brands. Like here we have a certain brand that you can see the relationship between the brand as Kapapi, Kopiko, Nescafe, and all. So this, what it does is that it tells you, basically, when you do a campaign, you want to get a customer persona, right? Sometimes when you do that customer persona in social media, sometimes you are, in Malay, we call it agak-agak or something like that you can think of, but you never got the definitive one. But this, because of the data that they gather, like this kind of data is actually from the market, and then you use this and it will generate a customer persona for you. So from here, when it does, you take all this data, you put in this behavior and identity in the dashboard here. So if you have a Facebook campaign ad, so you hit that, and then from there, it will when you click to that previous, I mean, when you click on the button here, they have TikTok, Facebook, and then later they're gonna have a Media Prima as well. So when you hit that, for example, at this slide, it goes to the ad set in the Facebook. You see this? It auto generate you inside this ad set name. So when you hit this ad set name, it will give you all this the key, which is the customer persona that you're gonna target to. So I'm gonna demo this thing later after this. This is in the slide right now, but I'm gonna demo you the real thing. So these are the personal persona analytics. They have this behavior as identity as product as behavior. Here in the dynasty and prescriptive analysis, they have this advocacy index based on the product and brand, behavior and identity, customer 5A journey, and then they have insight on the market sizing, customer persona, and customer messaging as well. All right. Okay, and here is the persona analytics. From here, you can see analyze and choose segment based on the 3 core perspective here. You see that behavior and identity with the product and behavior. So you can see here, this is based on all, they have all this kind of stuff, demographic, lifestyle, media, shopping, brands. So from each type of category, they know what kind of lifestyle you are in, what kind of media that you are looking at, and what type of stuff you buy in your shopping, okay? And then these are the things, when this transfer over to your API inside their system, they have all this. You see this TikTok, they have Facebook, and then later there will be Media Prima as well. So, and from here, it will link up to your Facebook ad set. For example, in your Facebook, you have a Facebook business. So from there, you have a certain campaign that you already created. So from here, when you click, it will link, and this is auto-generate from the system. And then from here, when you hit that, it gives you all this without you to do it. Because it's from the system. They already have a data, and then from there they will funnel it to according to the profile that the customer profile that you need. So in each segment, communicate with Facebook to match the various interest category. In Facebook, user can refine the interest area to optimize interest selection. So it's pretty awesome here. I mean, this system is good because one thing is they are huge in Southeast Asia. For your information, if you're interested in this system, you can let me know, and then I can guide you on about this system. Okay, this is the dynasty appreciative analysis. Here you look at this product digital and then the brand and YouTube. You can see all this kind of data. They have advocacy index brand based on the age, and then advocacy distribution based on this persona age as well. Okay, here we have this on the customer journey benchmark, whereby based on this brand, so these are all the recommendation brand, what kind of things that with the following selection you make, they give you that 5A, the aware, appeal, ask, act, and advocacy. And then here is the multi-dimensional workspace, whereby we have all this category, and then these are the recommendation based on that. And then these are all the other checklists that we can do to have the multi-dimensional workspace. From here, this is in-depth consumer view example. For example, 60% of TV3 viewers are also purchased a Saji brand cooking oil over the last 3 months. So based on that, so like I said just now, they're going to go for the media prima as well. So these are the overview for TV3 and Saji brand, and these are based on the age group, household income, and all this data grid here. Each cell in the table highlight the demographics of the cell. So from here, I'm gonna have an online demo, but I intend for the Google Analytics, but then we see if we have enough time. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna show you the tell first, because Google Analytics already been showed in the previous presentation. So okay, this is the tell. Okay, let's say here I'm gonna show you, for example, domesticated home body. I'm just gonna do that. And then I'm gonna in the archetype probably I'll put the house proud me. Age group I put, for example, okay, I put all. Gender maybe all as well. Household income I put all. I'll go and generate to it. So when I generate to it, it get all this kind of data while doing it, and then so I'm gonna put a name to it. For example, domesticated home body. I'm gonna save. So from here, I'm gonna go to my dashboard. So here I have all this stuff, the domesticated homebody, and this is I did last time on the beauty pamper me. From here, I can go to Facebook, and then from this Facebook, I can connect to my Facebook first, and then I change it to the ad set that I want. So I can go to any page, one of the campaign that I did. So when I create that, it will link up to my Facebook, and then from there, it will generate the takes time, because I think just now when the data it takes. Okay, let's look at this one, the one that I did yesterday. Okay, right now, because it's gonna take some time, but then what happened is that what happened is that from there, it will create a ad set. It will create this ad set. It will produce this based on the age, the 2029, all this kind of stuff. When I hit that, it will produce all these keywords. Okay, so that's end for this demo. And then I'm gonna show you, move on to okay. Okay, and then lastly, these are the 21 tips to improve your GA analysis. So from here, these are the online site. If you look at on this website, the online metrics, the one that I will show you later. These are the good thing is for you to improve on your GA analysis. GA is the Google Analytics, and then from there, here also a Google Analytics reporting versus analysis. And then these are the 5 questions to ask when approaching your data. So here I'm gonna do. These are the good article that you need to look at it on the 21 tips to improve your Google Analytics data analysis. Which is, I'm gonna copy and I'm gonna put in the comment. Okay. And then another one is this, the Orbit Media. If you can put, admin can put here Orbit Media, blog, Google Analytics reporting analysis as well. These are good article. Google Analytics reporting versus analysis insight from 4 reports. Here saying that most people are using analytics wrong because they look at the analytics, but then they do not really understand how to translate it and then use it for the proper way. So that's the more important thing about data. You need to ask the right question for you to plan and execute a proper decision. And then another one is this. 5 analytic questions you should always ask. So here they say that in digital analytics, it's all about asking the right question. And then one thing about this website, they have a very good digital analytics resource learning that you can learn from. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, I think I'm about to end. Okay, this is me. This is my contact. You can drop me email, Shahrul .suki@gmail. My LinkedIn, my Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. As I'm saying, I'm also a consultant for digital marketing and data analytics in terms of mobile to web and the e-commerce. So I hope the short explanation that I mentioned to you is very good for you. And then I hope, example like the Malaysia huge data access, the detail that if you're interested to, you can look at me and I can explain more further about using and having the program to your organization. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Encik Shahrul. Yeah, so yes, definitely, I think they will connect with you for more information. Thank you for your sharing. You take some rest first. We will re-invite Encik Shahrul to join us during the Q&A sessions later on, yeah? So if you have any questions regarding the session earlier on, so keep your questions coming later, okay? So
Okay.
thank you so much, Encik Shahrul. So we'll invite you later during the Q&A. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you for your sharing. Great sharing. Interesting one, isn't it? Okay, so next up we have our third speaker, our last speaker of the day, Mr. Sunny. Yes. Hi, Mr. Sunny.
Hey, hi.
Hi. So I'll do a little bit of background introduction of you, yeah, to the audience here. So today is about, again, data analysis. So Mr. Sunny here is a seasoned ICT and e-commerce industry recognized leader. He has been in the industry for 29 years already with his experience on proven track record, holding leadership role in multi IT MNC companies such as Microsoft, Intel, Lenovo, yeah, so all the big names, yeah. So in 2015, he co-founded e-commerce startup, which is ClickAsia, that you all can see on the screen here, based out in Malaysia, where he is running as the CEO since then. So as an e-commerce like tailor major in selling IT branded products online. So over the years, the business also successfully transformed into e-commerce enabler. Yeah, so for leading brands partners in IT, FMCG industry, health and beauty categories as well. So today, ClickAsia enabling more than 30 leading brands such as Logitech, Shiseido, Johnson & Johnson, yeah, BioLife, GP Battery, and so much more. He's also a vice president for Internet Alliance Malaysia, where he's actively involved about learning, networking, contributing back to the industry in terms of digital transformation domain. So right now, without further ado, let's look forward to your sharing session, Mr. Sunny. I'll pass the time to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chacha. Right. First of all, thank you, Chacha. Thank you, Sidec. This is probably my countless how many years I've been sharing with Sidec. It is good to share. Before I set up the screen, right, before I pop up the screen, I believe that many of you have been in e-commerce or involved in e-commerce before. Can I have some sense of roughly how many audience already engaged doing e-commerce business type 1 there? Yeah. You have already engaged doing e-commerce business type 1 while sharing the slide, right? Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Thank you. Okay, can you guys see my screen now? Good. All right. So let me start, right? So I'm going to take roughly not more than 30 minutes, but I'll cut short around 15 minutes of presentation. Maybe just for the interest of the slide. I think earlier speakers, right, speak a lot about the tools, the techniques, and how can you use to do data analytics. I can see that, yeah, this topic can be a little bit boring sometimes because it's very technical. But I think in this session, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it very back to ground. It's also very back to basic, right? What is the techniques of data analytics and what is it used for? So my coverage today, I'm going to cover 3 areas. I will speak very quick on speaker introduction about myself. I believe Chacha have introduced. I will not spend more time on that area, but I'll spend more time on data analytics and online traffic related to the business of e-commerce. And last but not least, I want to leave the time for Q&A. So before I begin, and as you know, Chacha have done some introduction about myself. I've been involved in the actually IT industry for the last 22, 23 years before I decided to move into a startup as an entrepreneur. Right now, I form actually an e-commerce enabled business. I think the key thing I want to highlight on this slide is that I'm also a vice president for Internet Alliance. Recently, we formed a chapter of e-commerce chapter. The chairman is headed by Exabytes Group, this Alan Koch. If you guys in e-commerce business want to join us, do check out the e-commerce website, Internet Alliance website, and do contact us from there. All right. With that, I'm going to move on. I believe e-commerce is a live learning project, right? I know nothing about e-commerce like many of you probably 6-7 years ago, right? I'm an IT veteran in most of the numbers, very sensitive, doing sales and so on, leadership role, country and regional. But nonetheless, the last 6-7 years is a real learning process for me, right? So what I did is that 2015, I formed the company. 2016-17 was a good year. We have a lot of awards, become a top sellers in Lazada. Those days was Lazada, 11th Street. You name it, you have it, right? Every single one, some of the name is no longer around those platforms. Every single one we have inside before. But nonetheless, I think what's more important is that I want to say that along the learning process, if you are having a success, you tend to forget what's happening about your business, right? Therefore, I think data is a very important point in every point of the injection. I call intersection point. You need to know where your business is today. I think the key part is that to engage yourself in learning. Today, I'm here to learn with you guys, to share and to learn, to also contribute as well. Who we are actually as ClickAsia, right? A little bit about background. Today, ClickAsia is actually a managed service company under this pillar. Some of you, this is actually a courtesy of Exabytes. They actually have it on display about the whole platform. When you talk about e-commerce landscape in Malaysia, you can be from B2B, B2C, C2C, classified platform. When you're on B2C, you can be in marketplace, you can be you can also be an e-tailer, you can be a cross-border seller, you can be a brand selling on an e-platform. So these are the different type of go-to-market that you have, right? Because of the multiple channels that you have touch point, therefore the ability for you to extract data and collect data and put it into one sources to analyze those data become more complex and more complicated, right? Therefore, you need to use a lot of tools, platform. I believe earlier two speakers have introduced some tools platform. Of course, the most basic one, go back to Excel, right? Or Google Analytics, or use the marketplace business insight from both Lazada, Shopee, Zalora, Wow Shop, Astro Go Shop, PG Mall, your own Shopify, Magento, all these you need, they have some form of data to be downloaded. The basic data you can download is really about the so-called the shipping information, the order confirmation. But when you put all this together, it has to come to some places of data cleansing. I call it data lake. Then you cleanse the data. Then eventually you analyze the data using whatever tools that I think just now the lead speaker Shahrul share about the data is another source you can put all this thing in. But the point what I'm trying to say is that this is where I think the whole landscape of complexity of e-commerce, right? With that, let me move on to my, of course, so this is just one award, right? In case that you know who we are, actually we are a certified enabler, both in Shopee and also in Lazada for years, as e-commerce for mostly the leading brand mentioned just now. We have roughly about 20 over stores, 30 over brand under our manage. Some of you may have bought things from us before. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, let me jump straight to today's topic, data analysis and online traffic. The whole concept about data analysis is about, let me go and answer it in 4 questions, right? What is data analysis? Why is it important in e-commerce? What does it matter to you? How can we use it? And last but not least, what are the tools and best practices? And the tools and best practices, I want to go deep into what the two speakers have shared, but I want to go into the concept of using it from a business perspective. All right? It's all good? Right. Let's move. So what is data analysis? A little bit into definitions, but I just want to highlight on two words. Data analytics or analysis is actually both can be qualitative and quantitative in the behavior, studying the behavior of your customer or your potential customer to drive a continued improvement in your online experience. For what purpose? To translate into the desired outcome of what you want to achieve. Depending on your objective, right? Is the desired outcome what you want to achieve. Today, I think we know that there's this term, right? In the Industry Revolution 4.0, there's a lot of big term of blockchain, AI, Internet of Things, big data. All these are technologies. But all this technology can empower you to do things. Why? Because we already in the era of smartphone and tablets. Take for instance, right? When you look at China growth of e-commerce today is the leader in the world. Their real growth of e-commerce pickup was really in the year of 2012 and 2013 because of one reason, because of smartphone exploration. Everybody started to use a smartphone in their hand. That was where I think they picked up their volume. All right. Of course, social media has been around for perhaps the last 20 years, but I think has been picked up a lot of late. Because of social media, our data is being shared to some extent. I know I'll call it the PDPA is being breached to some extent, right? It's shared with some brands for them to do remarketing and so on. Very frequent, many of you visited certain site, you notice that how come that the sites keep following me on my own Facebook? That's called remarketing engine, right? That is a form of data they gather and they come back to you. I believe the next session of digital marketing, they will share more of this part. But the point is that with all these touch points that we have today in today's world, you can use big data together with IoT technology combined to collect this data for what purpose? To create a relevant data for hyper personalization. Is to customize to individual needs and so on. I will touch on the usage in my explanation later, a few slides down the road. But come to data-driven marketing. This is very important. Google Analytics is one area you can consider, right? So this is really an area to look at. I will not bore you. I'll let you read those big jargon, big data, Internet of Things, because I'm not here to present on behalf of this research. But these are all real things and it's happening now. And I think we need to make use of them to help in our business. In practical, what does it mean by big data, right? Number one, big data can help us in 4 areas. Let me just build this up, right? Knowledge is power, as you know. Right? You know that in the past, in all the previous era, IT generators, when we come to IR 4.0, data is a new oil, right? Today, you have more data, it's more important than anything else. Number 2 is to know your customer behavior. It's very important to know your customer behavior through the data that you gather, right? Number 3, to help you to make the right decision. So it means that a lot of activity that you do, I think the first speaker talked about all activity that you do is a data-driven decision making, not using a gut feel. A lot of business today, I can tell you, I sure bet on everyone, even today in my organization, some people will still use the gut feel to run the business. But I think today, how to move your team completely to use data is the first make them understand the importance of how to use the data. The last, I think more importantly, is you need to measure the impact. Using all this data is very nice chart. But what does it mean? Does it translate to real sales objective? You meet your business objective, you grow in business? Or today, example, e-commerce is doing well for most people. Today could be just a windfall because of COVID. Are you really making use of data to support the decision to have the spikes beyond the organic growth? I think this is a question you have to ask yourself, right? So to move that, how do you do it? 7 ways you can use data, right? Number 1 is personalized offering. It's very important. I think this is the part of personalized offering. Let me just view up my slide here. 7 things you can do, right? Number 1 is personalized offering. Think about it, right? Because we know who you are online. In the offline world, sometimes the customer come, the salesperson may not know who they are. But because in online world, we know your purchase history, we know who you are. We are able to do personalized offering, right? And you can even address your name sometime if your customer service will empower with all the tools. I think this is very important. The second one is really about dynamic pricing. This is crucial in the old school offline. Often that you only display one price because anything that is double price, you will have a lot of argument with the customer dissatisfaction, right? But in the case of a hotel you stay today, in the case of airline ticket that you buy today, those pricing are already in dynamic. No one will pay the same air ticket price sitting on the same plane next to you, because every pricing is different, right? Today in the online world, in reality, right, most Lazada, Shopee have campaigns. Even in the single campaign day, for the same item that you buy in the same store, the price may varies. I'm talking about end customer paid price, may not be the display price or campaign day price is fixed, I know, but the end customer paid price may varies because of this dynamic pricing strategy. You can use a lot of data to create certain voucher, free shipping, flexi combo, whatsoever those things, to make the end customer paid prices differ. And you can also offer specific to certain group of your followers and so on. I think the other area to have data is also to have fraud prevention, right? You want to do about fraud prevention. Improve customer service, I mentioned about it, very important. The more data you have, you can actually build a chatbot if you are doing your own. But of course, marketplace today don't allow data to pull out yet, the chat. But if you are on your own, you can build chatbot to have address. Predictive analytics is very important. This term is very commonly used in the fourth industrial revolution. Predictive analytics is where you can actually predict what's going to happen. With all the BI data you have, you can predict certain behavior. I give you an example. I'm in FMCG business for some of my brand owner, right? FMCG business for a beauty product will come back probably average about 3 to 6 months, depending on what they are. Personal care product can be 1 month to 3 month range. You can predict this customer, what do they buy, what is the average order value, how frequent they buy, and how they come back, and what we can target them, next promotion, and so on. So these are very important tools from BI move to AI, right? Then, of course, supply chain management. Just now, I think earlier speaker also mentioned about how do you need to know what is your history of sales, to know of week of inventory you hold, so that you know how to manage your supply chain efficiently, right? Last but not least, important is about new offering and bundles. In online, the simple marketing is about just selling on price. That you can only do so much in a so short period, but in the long run, profitability have to kick in, right? So I think you need to know the behavior of customers so that you can offer the offering and innovations, all right? So I know I may not be able to see some of the question, but I'll try to answer some of the question at the end of my presentation here, right? Just not to disturb and speed up some time. So these are the 7 things you can consider doing from a business perspective. The tools and how I believe some of the speakers have shared, then I may also address it in some of those Q&A session later. So the last part, I think, is the thing. Let me build up this slide. 4 areas you can consider, right? Number 1 is Google Analytics. I think they've mentioned enough. For some of you who are doing business who are just offline and online, I think you also want to start thinking about how do you collect data in a seamless offline and online combined, right? So that you know how to manage them and so that they won't compare so much. The next third thing important, I think, once the marketplace open up the chat, I think you can start building more chatbot related to a more AI-based chatbot, live chat to empower the customer service. Customer service should not be just look at it from a post-sales. You should look at the pre-sales and also long-term customer engagement, right? For some of you who understand this term called customer lifecycle management, this is pretty important, right? Because if you look at this term called product lifecycle management, right? From launch to ramp, to scale, to mature, to decline. But from a customer lifecycle perspective, the best is to have your customer to know which stage are they in, and you want to make sure you get the most profitable out from them when they are your customer at the stage of the 60% and so on and so forth. So this is 20-60-20 rules, which I will come back using analogy when in my later slide presentation. All right. Next slide, I'm going to borrow from Google's. Okay, from Facebook. You go to most of the Facebook training, they will always tell you about this consumer behavior through full funnel. So this is actually an analogy very important about today. You do any campaign, you launch any website. No, it's very easy to have online store. Our government asking everyone to go e-commerce, to have a web store, to try to do. But many of them find that, hey, I have my store already. How come nobody buy things from me? No traffic. Because you need to understand where is your stage of your brand or your store are in now. Are you in the awareness stage, consideration stage? Have they made the first purchase? Right? So this is normally the first stage you are in. If you are in this mode, I think some formula, the next slide I will share with you, you need to look at certain formula in that area of formula to address this concern. Then your area of marketing program, marketing strategy have to target to this segment of awareness, consideration or purchase stage. Purchase is to make the first purchase or even though a repeat purchase. When you look at going back to a customer who already your customer, you want to make them a repeat customer. That is a repeat purchase stage, right? There is a different formula and different use the data to help to drive the behavior differently. And last but not least is the 20%. I'm talking about the 20, 60, 20 rules, right? So you have the 20, 60, and 20 rules, the royalty customer. The royalty customer is already your so-called your brand ambassador. They will definitely buy from you, regardless of the price. They hardly go to another store, even though your price is higher. This is where how do you maximize the profit from this customer in the what you call a LTV, long-term value, or a customer lifecycle value. In the next chart, I'll explain more into you. So hopefully this gives you a perspective of how you look at using data for what purpose so far. So, okay. So next slide, I think is the interesting one. It's also my last slide. I'll explain this in the online traffic related to numbers of 3 terminologies. Today, if you first time join into any online classes, most people will tell you this term called GMV, stand for gross merchandise value. In short, in most of the layman term, is your sales revenue, all right? But it consists of 3 factors. Your visitors. To have the sales to your GMV, you must first attract visitor first, which is traffic. That's the today class all about, right? Next is how do you drive them to buy, make them buy, sales conversion. That's a percentage. Just now, I believe the first speaker speak about 2 to 4% is a good one to have. Anything more than 5 is good. Sometimes campaign, especially the first CBMO hour, it can go up to strong double digit, depending on how well are you, right? And of course, the last point is important is about how much they buy per order. So there's this term called average order value, or some marketplace may call it average basket price. They're talking about the same thing, right? In some term, if you are in brand management, some people call average selling price, that's unit level. But because one order can have 2 or 3 items, so a few ASP can become one order value, 2 to 3 items. Then lastly, something called average revenue per user for monthly basis, because some customer may buy 2 to 3 times or 2 to 3 times a day. So AOV can be, average revenue per user can be higher than average order per value, right? So this is actually the terminology you find online. But let me elevate a little bit in understanding. When you actually want to drive a good, successful online business, you should look beyond GMV. GMV is very fundamental. It's the basic of to get from nothing to something in the GMV level, this formula. But to be successful in online, you want to look at the long-term value. That means looking at the average order value for your customer, how many transactions they come and buy back from you in a month, a quarter, 6 monthly, or a yearly period. And how long have they stayed with you, this customer? That is the long-term value that you use to measure your data, all right? And last but not least, once you achieve the LTV, the next evolution, the final one, is look at the CLV, customer lifetime value. That means, I give example, if you are buying mobile phone, most of us will use mobile phone, right? We change our phone 2 to 3 years, 3 to 4 years. So if someone who at the age of 12 years old, or today I think kids even from 10 years old, they probably have a phone, until they probably in lifespan of 80 years old, or like some of our old premium 96 years old, you know how many handphones they have changed? 10, 20, 30 handphone they have changed. So how do you make sure that the handphone they change is your brand? So that is called a long-term value times the profit you can make from this same customer over the period they own, you own this customer. This is called a CLV. So with that, this is all the framework relevant to the data. So now go back. Today I'm still talking about data, but I'm trying to bring in the data to a perspective from a business and how you can use it to drive your business improvement. I'm also one of the Alibaba Netpreno trained sent by Malaysian government to China, Hangzhou, right? So they share this slide with me called Evolvement number 4, right? This is actually about from Alibaba Business School. They taught us about collect data, process data, understand data, and data-driven operation. And many of these data is already available from our backend. But I think start to use it to make use of it to help in your decision making. All right. That's about all I want to share today. And any questions, and this is my connect. You can connect me through LinkedIn or my email if you have further questions. If not, I'm going to hand back to the Q&A. Let me just go back to the Q&A. I see any screen here on the Q&A.
Yeah. I think the question will come later because like all these are very, very interesting thing, but it's also like what Mr. Sunny mentioned, sometimes it's like a little bit like technical for people to answer. Yeah. So we'll take the questions later. Now we will invite all our speakers to the screen. Yeah. So some of you just now also saw Mr. Sunny that has the slide. Yeah. So you can connect with him if you want to find out more information. But right now, our team, before we collect the questions, our team will put a link of the survey form in the chat, in the comment box. Yeah. So we'd like to collect some of the data. For those that who are still here with us, please help us to fill the survey form because we would like to collect some of your feedbacks. Yeah. And then the topics that you would like to listen in the future, tell us which area that we can improve on as well. Okay. So take some time to help us to fill that in. And meanwhile, if you have any questions, yeah, so do feel free to type in the comment. I will start picking some of the questions to direct to our speakers on the screen. Okay. Carlos say technical, digital driven. All right. So while they are coming with questions, I'm supposed the audience will have. Yeah. So yeah, we have the first question there from Chance. Okay. How to set up Google Analytics. Okay. So on this one, how to set up Google Analytics. Maybe I will help them to help the speaker to answer first. Yeah. So on this one, Chance, we will have sessions on Google marketing later on. Yeah. So because it's a lot of like step by step to teach on this one. So if you're interested on 7th of September, you can join the session. So we will talk more in terms of this Google Analytics. Yeah. So just now all the speakers actually share with us on how to do we need to use Google Analytics, but to go through that, it will be a little bit more in deeper. Okay, so let's do that in the later session. But maybe I'll have questions for all our speakers here. Yeah. So in terms of data, we know that it is like just now Mr. Sani also shared. There's like a process, right? So you collect the data, you analyze the data, understand it, and then put it into action. Okay. So let's break it down like simpler, maybe for our audience here in terms of e-commerce context. What would be like the most important data, the number that they need to focus in seeing first? I mean, the very basic one. Yeah, there are a lot of data, but maybe in terms of their e-commerce, yeah. So which one would you advise them to do so? Maybe first, I will direct it to Mr. Sani first on this question.
Right. Actually, normally I'll break down, assuming your business is brand new, right? I'll start it. I call it 4 stages you need to look at. The first stage is when you set up a store, you don't have any follower, you don't have any customers. I think the first stage is to how do you join any campaign that you can to get a free flow of follower coming. Those are free. You get earn follower. Once you're a follower, you can use the feed function within Marketplace, or you can actually send them personal email once they are your follower or your subscriber. That's the first part. The second one is join any campaign publicly, or even anything that is organized to get external traffic delivering to your store. That is coming inflow of traffic to your store. So that's traffic generation. Once you have a traffic, you need to start doing some sales conversion. That's natural stage. I think first thing is traffic. Secondly is you drive about sales conversion. You need to look at, do you get orders a day? How many orders you get a day, right? I'll say a good store, you should get an average of 30, 50 orders a day. That is a call once your store becomes stable. Anything less than that, depends on the product you sell, I must say. Anything less than that, I think it's not, you did not achieve the optimum yet. But again, to get 30, 50, 100 orders is very easy. You can discount by below cost also, you can get it. But you cannot do forever, right? Once you get that, once you get a follower, I think the other part important is that in the e-commerce process is that you want to make sure this customer give you a good feedback, right? Review is very important, right? So this is another form of data you need to know. Did they give you a good review or not? Because external customer will look at the review star. We are all consumer buyer. If you see a product that no review, no star, you will never buy no matter how good the price is, right? So those are important part. So I think from follower to visitor to that part. Once you get into that part already, you use data to analyze what kind of data, right? You look at the traffic, how frequent this customer buy, what do they buy, what's the average order value? How do I up their average order value or average revenue per user per month, I call it, to times certain percentage upsize. So this is where your promotion strategy will change accordingly eventually. All right. So I hope you guys follow me in the stage of that's probably in a stage 2 or stage 3 beyond the GMV already, right? But if finally you reach a stage of they are your customer, your repeat buyer already, right? Then you can do a customized program just for your loyal customer, just exclusive for them through your private coupons, whatever, just for the group of them only. Then they feel special.
Okay.
But very important. Loyal customer also can be a very angry customer if you don't manage them well.
Yeah, that goes back to customer relationship management.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Okay. So very great answer. Yeah. So traffic again, then we go forward to like the next partner and so on until like loyal customer management. So each of the stage will have data to analyze as well. But definitely when we get traffic, then we can see more problem. Yeah. So thank you, Mr. Sunny, for that sharing. We have more questions coming in already, which is great. So I will direct it to other speakers. Okay. We have a questions from one you. What's the best metrics for measuring retention time? Maybe this one I will direct it to Miss Kuing on this one. Retention time. Yes.
Can I pass this question to Mr. Sunny because there is part where he covered just
Okay,
now.
maybe I try.
Yeah, Adam also asked the same thing. Yeah, so because of the LTV calculation, sure.
Okay, so generally, I would say that a few metrics you also need to look. If you are familiar with both Shopee and Lazada backend, right? They will share with you something called the visitor information, then the page view. How do you read it? It's like the customer come in, they come in as one visitor, they count. How many page they view your products? Normally, a good formula, I would say, is 1 to 4. So if you take the visitor, page view, my visitor is 1,000, my page view is 4,000, I'm about right, 1 to 4, all right? Then you look at the next thing is the average time they spend in your store. Why I say page view first? Because if your page view is no good, that means your content don't bite them, In the e-commerce world, you cannot see the handsome and pretty faces. You cannot engage. So you rely on good content creation to hold the interest of customer, for them to move from pages to pages. And of course, don't overdo your content, and those must be a sales conversion content. Some people always say this argument, in Chinese they call 点击, where you want to click add to cart. Where's the places you faster get them add to cart and convert to sales? Because don't overshow your online store become a corporate website. Then you cannot close sales. It's also no good. All right. So these are important points of how they stay online. So I would say average people will stay within 2 to 4 minutes is best, but sometimes you drop within less than 30 seconds, and those that means you maybe drive a lot of traffic from CPaaS, Facebook, from an external link. They come in. Unfortunately, it's not going to help you in the metrics. You're going to have a lot of high visitor, but those are non-qualified or not good traffic. I hope I answered the questions.
Okay, so if any of the other speakers would like to add on, we can also do so. Yeah, so I think it makes sense as well. So like how to actually look at the whole thing, but some of them also ask in terms of like how to get like retention time period for LTV calculation. So this is where, yeah. So because I think Mr. Sunny shared about like LTV calculation just now, right? So your long-term value. So there is like certain ways of like calculations that you needed to. How can they do so?
Okay, easier one is all your order information from any marketplaces. Even someone say about offline business. If you're offline, you have a POS system, right? Today, most of the new generation POS system ask for customers' email or phone. It's also a form of data collections. Best is use, my suggestion is use a phone number, their phone number. Of course, people change phone. Unfortunately, collecting IC is a PDPA concern. So the best is collect phone number, because most marketplaces don't share email yet, except one just recently opened, all right? But they share you their phone number where to ship to. So phone number is a unique key you can use across all your different sources of data to analyze. I can tell you in our platform, You give me your phone number. I know what have you buy from which of our store, how frequent you buy, what you buy, when you will buy again. We can do all these analytics because we have cleaned up all data from different sources of data put into one platform. So this is how we work, right? And so my answer will be use phone number to be a key.
Okay, Ken. Thank you so much. And I think there's a good questions from this from E1. What is the best conversion rate during BAU level? Okay, so maybe this one I will direct it to like two more of our speakers. Miss Queen, do you have any thoughts on this one? Best conversion rate during the AU level. Sometimes it's very hard for us to answer like the best conversion rate, right?
It is very hard because it depends, it differs industry by industry, and also according to your product and how much demand there is for your product. And as I shared earlier, it's actually 2 to 4% for your online store visitors to purchase, and then 5 to 6% is considered very, very good, and then 10% is like legendary.
Yeah. So I think it's kind of like grow like slowly. So if that is like a good conversion rate, depending on the whole stock SKU level that you have lah, because different merchants will have a different conversion rate that we comes into like your particular niche as well, right? So certain things will sell better, certain things will sell later. So I think it still goes back to like the merchants kind of SKU in the niche. But general rules is what Miss Queen just now shared with us. Yeah, so 2 to 4 is considered okay. Then more than that is like way better. Okay, thank you so much for that. And then we have also another questions. I think this one is more general from Andy Tan. How would all the speakers advise if the customer behavior is different from each sales channel that you are on board? I mean, in terms of data lah, huh? So how would you advise on this one? I think this is a very, very good question. So maybe I'll direct it to Shahrul first, then we'll go one round on this.
Hi. My comment is that although that is different, but you need to make sure that they have some way like a standard, so that you can do the comparison as for the grid. How do I see standard is depend on what attribute that we are gonna compare to. So we need to find that. Yeah, that's my comment about it.
Okay, so maybe we move to Mr. Sunny on this one. Yeah.
Okay, I think we have quite a number of business partner have multiple store in multiple platform, including their brand.com. I think just now I believe the first speaker, she shared about the whether the sales contribution coming from Shopee, Lazada, by month and so on. I think those are good information should have for any of when you are managing multiple platform. But more importantly, you must know the other part of data is that the customer actually buy from which platform or cross platform. That's another data you guys need to analyze. This will see a switching behavior. So you know where actually they are your customer in one platform, Lazada, they move to Shopee, from Shopee move to a brand.com, and vice versa on a monthly trend basis on the percentage. That's another thing that I think you should look into that as well. I would say that when you manage a multiple platform, their stages is different. I go back to stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. You treat them like, are you using a acquisition stage? Are they already in a GMV driving stage? Are they moving to a LTV stage? Are they going to a long-term value stage? So eventually you want them to be in a stage 4, right? But not every time, not every place you go in, because you are new, you still need to establish relationship. You need to know the stages. But therefore, your marketing tactics used in different platform go back to the stages of maturity where you are at that point of time. That's how my answer to you.
Actually, very true. Yeah. So, Miss Ngui, anything else to add on this one? Your advice?
I actually kind of differentiate my product listing between different platforms. So on Shopee, I customize my product listing to include a lot of keywords. And then actually for one of my customers that I handle is selling snack food, on Shopee I actually mainly put my content in BM, but on my website is in English. And then because I realized that most of the people that buy from Shopee actually, let's say, Malay, and then on our website is a little bit more varied, and then the brand.com also kind of represents our brand, so we switch it to English. And then we use different cover photos as well, so to cater to different audiences. So on Shopee we are still selling 1 ringgit, 2 ringgit keropok, but on our brand.com we actually package everything to free shipping, and our goal is to move to continue to use Shopee and Lazada to look for new clients, because you have traffic in Shopee and Lazada, but then we are trying to reach out to the customer and tell them that, hey, next time if you like what you buy, you can buy from our website, and now with free shipping. So that is how we actually differentiate our offering, even though it's technically the same product.
Actually, it's quite true lah, from all the speakers that you mentioned earlier. Yeah, so customer behavior is different, but back to the same thing is like traffic is first. So traffic is from marketplaces. Then from there, then different people behave differently. So the audience base also different. Then see how you're going to convert them into like another platform, which the content needs to be different as well. Yeah. So I think it's very, very complex. That's why we have like the EC class for like a whole different topics to touch on everything as well. Yeah. So I'll pick one last question because of the time constraint. There's this two of the audience asks about this point from Feng Wai Kuen as well as from Color. Yeah. So about questions on difference between impression and clicks. So if we were to come to data analysis, yeah, where we see impressions and we see clicks, how do we differentiate that? And then which should we actually focus on, like analyzing it for like better action later on? Okay, so this I will go one round as well. So the last question we'll pick for today. Yeah, so on this one, maybe we start with also Encik Shahrul on this one.
The impression is that, and click. For me, I guess the most important is the click one, right? The impression is that is something that is important. Is that you need to know what happened that to the user. So it's a matrix that is really important. You need to look at the numbers, and then which is I bet the output will be the click. That's my advice on that. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for that. And let's move on to Mrs. Stani on this one. Yeah.
I think my short answer will be keep this question for the next class, because I think the next class is more relevant. This class I think should focus on sales conversion will be the key. But in the short answer to impression and clicks is I think click first, then how many impression, but those are only eyeball. But if those eyeball don't convert to sales conversion, they are meaningless. They actually don't help you in your data, in the final GMV numbers. Yeah. In a number term lah, how I look at it. Yeah.
Yeah. And Miss Kuing on this one.
So impression is basically how many times your ads are shown to people, and clicks is like how many people respond to it. So of course there is again kind of a conversion between impression and clicks and so on, but then one thing, and then whenever possible, you should always do A/B testing. So when you, because you can basically look at conversion value from one stage to other stage, so from impression to click. So you that is something that you can look at, but then as the other two speakers says, is also the best to look at, just look at the clicks and focus on the clicks. So yes, you can do A/B testing, like let's say you segment out different audiences or you try different content, but then do not fall into the trap of like, you know, you have only 30 ringgit budget a day, and then you further fragment your budget into, let's say, 15 ringgit and 15 ringgit, and you will not get enough data to even exit, let's say, the learning phase. So yeah, so my advice is be mindful of not fragmenting too much when you try to do testing, and then always rely back on data lah. So if you can't fragment, then you do different period, you test different content and see whether there's any relation between impression and click and the content and the targeting that you do.
All right. So yeah, so it goes down to like the budget and the campaign runs as well, right? Huh? So I think I would like to say thank you for all our speakers. It's very good, like sharing sessions from like Miss Kuing, then Mr. Sunny, and Shahrul as well. So today again is like on data. So data is like a long-term route down the way. Yeah, when we're in e-commerce, so it's like continuously learning and then like picking up like numbers and then crunch it and then put it into action. So it's not something that is on like 1 day basis, but we definitely, if like let's say in future we have like more sessions in terms of like data as well, we hope to see you all, I mean, again in these sessions to share with the audience more in detail. All right. So once again, I'd like to say thank you for all our speakers. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. And then, yeah, thank you. Thank you. And then for all our audience here, again, I also like to say thank you for all of you, for being here for today's session. So if those of you are still here with us, please help us to fill in the survey form, yeah? And some of you asked a lot of like upcoming content in terms of like digital marketing. So as mentioned, we do have like upcoming classes where we go into digital marketing. Yeah, so but it will be starting in September. Yeah, so these are the dates. On the 2nd of September, we'll start with social media marketing, then Google marketing, and so on until 21st of September. So do sign up. Yeah, so to go to like Eventbrite to sign up for registration to get notified. Check out Sidec page for this one as well. Yeah. So as for those that ask about contacts, yeah, so Mr. Sunny contact again on this one. So after our session ends, you can watch back the replay. So there will be like the contact information as well. And if Mr. Sunny is still here, so definitely like if he can actually put in the comment for the willing to share in the comment as well. Yeah, so you can connect with Mr. Sunny as well as the rest of the speaker of today. Okay, so yeah, excellent sharing from today's session. Once again, thank you. And help us to fill in the survey form. We will have another QR code link up after this session. So do share with us your feedback, and I hope to see you in September session again. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe, stay healthy. Bye-bye.